just 1 week of intermittent fasting, a lot of changes are happening in the body. Today, I'm showing exactly what you can expect after 1 week of intermittent fasting. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition and human performance. I talk a lot about intermittent fasting and how you can use intermittent fasting to achieve your wellness goals. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Okay, in just the first 7 days of intermittent fasting, a few key things happen. First, insulin levels start to dip down. Insulin is the fat storing hormone, so when it dips down, fat burning starts to turn on. Insulin goes up when we eat and down when we fast, so even just within the first week of intermittent fasting, a lot of people can experience a dip in that fat storing hormone insulin. Second thing that happens is the migrating motor complex starts to kick in. The migrating motor complex, or the MMC, is our natural gut cleaning process that's only turned on when we're not eating, aka fasting. It flushes out left behind food and bacteria that would normally cause bloating within the GI tract, which is why for some people, even within the first 24 hours, they start to feel significantly less bloated. That was actually the case for me. This is one of the main reasons why I first started intermittent fasting. I had really severe bloating, nothing helped it, and even after just the first few days of intermittent fasting, the bloating went so far down and I pretty much never get bloated anymore, which is just like mind-blowing to me. Now the big question you probably have is, will you experience weight loss in the first week of intermittent fasting? Those weight loss benefits from intermittent fasting is typically due to that dip in the storing hormone insulin and is the key for intermittent fasting being a weight loss tool. But you've probably seen how some people can experience like 7 or 10 pounds of weight loss in the first week of intermittent fasting and others not have any at all. Now the type of weight loss results you get within the first week of intermittent fasting depends on 2 factors: how you're breaking your fast and whether or not you're insulin resistant. If you're breaking your fast with foods that are really rich in refined sugars or carbohydrates, then you're probably not going to experience much weight loss at all, or maybe even gain weight. And this is because those refined sugars and starches really spike the storing hormone insulin and essentially can reverse that progress you made with a fast. On the flip side, if you break your fast with foods that really stabilize the blood sugar level and therefore don't really greatly spike the storing hormone insulin, it helps to better mimic the weight loss benefits of the intermittent fast so that you can get better results. And then there's the other factor, insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is typically categorized as having high fasted insulin levels. So this means even when you're fasting or not eating, insulin levels are raised. This is typically from years of eating refined carbohydrates or sugar. In fact, insulin resistance is the step before type 2 diabetes. And a lot more people have it than you would think. It's estimated that at least 1/3 of Americans are insulin resistant, but it's even been studied that up to 44% of Americans are insulin resistant. Now, the good news is that fasting insulin typically can come back down. It just takes a little bit longer. And for that reason, when insulin resistant, the body's essentially working on getting that insulin lower before it can fully crank up that fat burning. So it's really common for someone with insulin resistance to not really lose any weight for the first 1, 2, or maybe even 3 weeks, and then suddenly break through and have a lot of weight loss progress. If you aren't insulin resistant, I've seen it pretty common that people lose between 1 to 5 pounds in the first week of intermittent fasting. And the first week, or the first breakthrough week, if you're insulin resistant, tends to be the biggest because you're getting a combination of fat loss as well as water loss. So regardless of if you're insulin resistant or not, you really want to make sure that you're eating the right types of foods when you go to break your fast so that you can better mimic the weight loss benefits of intermittent fasting even when you're eating. This is a strategy that I use in my complete intermittent fasting bundle with over 100 recipes, 8 weeks of meal by meal planning, and it's what thousands of men and women around the world are using to help them achieve their weight loss and wellness goals. So if you are new to intermittent fasting or you haven't really seen the results that you're looking for yet, definitely check that out. I'll have it linked down in the description below. It's an amazing resource and has already helped so many people. In fact, if you want a little bit of inspiration, highly recommend you check out my interview with Jeanette, who in her 50s lost about 44 pounds. You can check that video out right here. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.